for me, in a way, this isn't about the future, first of all. I think it's about confirming where we are and where we have come from, because we've come on quite a journey in the last 50, 60 years, depending on how you slice it. But I think it's very significant, and I don't think we should underestimate declaring that we are friends and brothers and sisters in Christ. I think that's something very good, very important, and that will be important for us into the future, I think.
I think that when I look back over my own lifetime and see the huge steps that have been taken to bring about a day like this, it's for me very exciting and humbling as well. I think we're honouring God by what we're doing. I think we're honouring Jesus. I think we're doing what He would want us to do. And I think that we're doing this not just for our own sakes, but for the betterment of Christian relations in Scotland, and too, so that Scottish society can see that we are together in our mission to bring Christ to Scotland.
When we started composing this text, one of the questions that I had in my mind anyway was, should we be speaking to other churches at this stage to see if anyone else would be interested in getting involved in this? But it had originally started as a dialogue between the Church of Scotland and the Catholic Church. So I thought to myself, and we thought generally, well, let's just try and get that first, and then we'll see how it goes. But I hope that it will be welcomed by the other Christians in the country, and that we might be inspired to take new and fresh steps together in the light of that, because so much of what is in the Declaration are elements that we do share in common, and I think that's something that we can all look at happily in the future.
I grew up in a very divided Scottish society. I'm 68 years old and was a product of that divided society. I didn't understand why it was divided, but it was. That society has changed immensely over the last 50, 60 years. And I think this is indicative of not us catching up with society, but us affirming together something that is fundamentally important to us, to our faith together, and hopefully to Scottish society. I would want people in Scottish society to look at the Church of Scotland and the Catholic Church and to take away one of those excuses I've often heard. Well, if you're against one another, what's it all about? Well, we're not. Mm-hmm. This is a declaration of friendship between us, and I hope that would say something powerful to the non-Christian constituency of Scottish society.
Yeah. We've been looking for 40 years at what we have in common and finding ways of understanding each other and reaching out to each other. And we started with comparatively little compared to other countries anyway, but it was positive, it was open, it was forthright. And in the meantime, we have stumbled into something that we didn't expect, which was that we've actually ended up becoming friends. Perhaps that was inevitable, perhaps it wasn't, but it's something that is worth noting and worth emphasising, that our communities have drawn together as the theologians and the experts have talked to each other. In the meantime, in the parishes, they've been praying together, and they've been working on social questions together, and they've been opening food banks together, and they've been saying the Lord's Prayer together. We have been growing together, and I wonder if we even noticed. And so coming back, as I did from abroad after decades away from here, it was one of the things I noticed, and I was so pleased to see that. And so for my own part, I thought, why should we not celebrate such an important change, even if it has been coming upon us over these decades, that we have achieved something that maybe we didn't even set out to do. And I think it's so important that we see each other as brothers and sisters in Christ, and we have that. That is something to be celebrated.
You know, some people will be thinking, is this a union between two churches? It's not. We retain our distinctiveness, we retain that colour, that identity that we have that makes us different, in a sense, different. But the core things that we believe that are important, we believe together. And that unique identity that belongs to both our churches, it remains and is celebrated. And I hope people will see that that's what's happening here. We're together, we're distinctive, but we're friends on a journey.